And welcome! This is the Revanchisms. Let's build in real life. Basically, I had some comments about why I pick what rooms I do, and how to organize the different rooms to make an interesting looking house, but still have something that people with OCD can understand. So, without further ado, let's go! This program that I'm currently using is called Punch Home and Landscape. The link for it's going to be in the description of the video, and if you look at the different dimensions on it, a living room is 18 by 16, a kitchen, blah blah blah. I'm not going to bother reading all the dimensions because I'm sure you can see them all on screen. The most important thing to do is when you're transferring something from real life into a 3D rendering program like Minecraft, you have to use the same measurements that they're using. In Minecraft, everything is in 1 meter blocks. Now, a meter is roughly about 3 feet. So anything that we see on this with the numbers, we're going to have to either round up or round down to get into 3 feet increments. So with this living room, we would have to adjust the size, wrong way, there we go, to get it into 3-foot sections. Same thing with the kitchen. Now, with the kitchen, and with all the other rooms, like the living room, the bathrooms, different things like that, you have two choices when you're adjusting the size. You can either move up or move down. But because Minecraft has 3-foot wall sections, and that's impossible to get around, I generally like to move up. So on a kitchen, I have an example where I could move this up to 18 by 15, but it's close enough. I'm just going to leave it at 15 by 15. So let me go ahead and adjust these real quick, and I will get back to you in a second. And actually, see, this is a perfect example. You can either keep the hallway at 4 feet wide by moving it down to 3, which will be pretty much about the same, or you can move it up to 6. Now, I don't think hallways are that important, so I just move it down, but feel free to adjust it whatever size you want, because this is all relative. In a real house, you can adjust these to fit whatever you need. Same thing in Minecraft. If something looks too small, then it is. So give it some more space. Now, bedrooms, that's a perfect example of do what you think makes sense, because bedrooms, they vary in size. So this one right here is 12 by 12, but a master bedroom is typically 15 by 15. So if you want to have a bedroom be 15 by 15, which would look like this right here, then that's perfectly acceptable. And if you wanted to have a bedroom look like this, that's also perfectly acceptable. And what that would equal in Minecraft would be about 4 blocks by 4 blocks, or 5 blocks by 5 blocks, or anywhere in between. Now, in my particular settings, I don't usually use garages or media rooms or laundry rooms, so for the sake of this demonstration, I'm just going to go ahead and delete these. If you want to keep them to add more design features, then that's perfectly your choice, but I'm going to go ahead and get rid of them. And closets, well, let's face it, you really don't need 6 feet by 6 feet. That would be kind of ridiculous. See how that looks? That would be ridiculous. So let's do it that way. And a great idea for a closet is you could even use a 3 by 3. Just when you decide to do it, go ahead and step inside the closet, so when you place the door, it's flush up against the wall, and you can still fit a chest inside. So let's go ahead and plop these around and see if we can manage to get a OCD-friendly house that still has a lot of variety. So whenever you're planning these things, make sure you're leaving a block in radius around it, so that way you have a place for the wall. Because in Minecraft, let's face it, all the walls are 3 foot wide. So, okay. So here we have a very basic house. You can't forget to put the bathroom in. There. And we don't want this sticking out, so let's rotate that around. And there we go. That's a very basic house. You got an entranceway / living room, a bedroom, a bathroom, a closet, a place to eat, and a place to cook. And as you can see, it's not square. But you tried your best to make it square. This is what I mean by OCD friendly, but still interesting. OCD friendly is you're trying to make it perfect. But anyone that has OCD has to, sometime in their life, come across the realization that nothing can be perfect. It's unattainable. So we still try to make everything perfect, which is what I'm doing here. I'm trying to make it a perfect square. It just isn't possible. So I get it as close as I can, and it'll look great when it's done. Now, if I decided to do this slightly different, I could put in, let's say a hallway, and I don't put a lot of value on hallways, so I'm just going to make this 3 feet wide. Let's throw in a bedroom, another bedroom. Let's make this a little longer. Throw in the bathroom over here, rotate it again. Let's see, that was 12 by 6. Let's go ahead and slide it over and see if we can get this 1 block wider, because that just doesn't look good. There we go. Let's slide this closet over. I really don't need this. And then let's add a couple of storage features. So let's get this onto that and that. And there you go. Now you have a 3-bedroom house. Everything you could want. You're trying to at least fit it into a rectangle, but you're going to have enough offsets when you try to put on the roof that it's still going to look interesting. So just take these ideas, run with them, keep in mind the rooms can be adjusted, and just when you're building your house, think through what are the people who's going to be living in this house, what are they going to need, and just make sure you put in a room for that. On a medieval place, you might not need a bathroom, you might have an outhouse. But keep in mind, some of the more rich people did still have bathrooms. They had a small little bowl with water, and they had a hole in the ground that they could use to relieve themselves. It wasn't any fancier than that, but that's what they had. So, go have fun and happy building.